Today is the day. I am Will Scott, and on this video, we're going to be breaking down the latest Houston Texans draft rumors just hours before the Houston Texans are on the clock at number 2 overall, and nobody knows what the Texans are going to do tonight. Before we get into today's show, be sure to subscribe. Don't miss anything. Turn on your notifications because we're going to have you covered during the entire draft. The Texans have 12 picks. We're going to be getting you guys a video breaking down every single pick, so be sure to subscribe. YouTube.com/Texans TV. That is the sub link. We're going to have you covered, especially tonight, because the Texans have number 2 and number 12, those overall picks. And it's going to be interesting to see what Houston does because, like I said, nobody really knows what's going to happen tonight with the Houston Texans when they go on the clock at number 2 overall. What are they going to do? On today's show, we got the latest and the final Mel Kiper Mock Draft, Daniel Jeremiah's final mock draft, Aaron Wilson with KPRC. He has some rumors for us that we're going to get into here in a second. But first, I want to hear from you down in the comments. Who will the Texans draft tonight? What is going to happen? What are they going to do? I don't know. Mel Kiper has an idea, though. He has the Texans selecting Alabama edge rusher Will Anderson in his final mock draft with the number 2 overall pick. Here is what he said about the pick. I struggled with what to do here. Are the Texans really going to pass up on a quarterback here? Will they trot out Davis Mills again next season? Could they find a veteran passer via trade, maybe Trey Lance, or take another one, or take one with their other first-round pick? I'm hearing Houston will take an edge rusher, either Anderson or Texas Tech's Tyree Wilson, unless it throws everyone a curveball. I like Anderson much more than Wilson, and that's the direction I'd go. I'm kind of with Mel here. I'd be surprised if Will Anderson is not the pick at number 2 overall because everything we've been hearing the last couple of days is they're going to take an edge rusher. And Will Anderson is the best edge rusher in this draft class and probably the best player in this draft class. He needs to be the pick at number 2 if they don't go to quarterback. Are you okay with Will Anderson being the pick at number 2 overall? I know a lot of us want a quarterback to be the pick there, but let me know down in the comments section. Type Y for yes or type in for no. Are you okay with Will Anderson being the pick for Houston? We're going live on our main Chat Sports channel tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 Central. I'll be hosting that coverage with Tom Downey, so be sure to tune in. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. That's the sublink. That sublink in the comments in the description. Going live rounds 1 through 7. The Texans have a lot of picks. When ESPN's in commercial break, we're going to be live here breaking down every single pick. No commercials, so hope to see you there for our main channel coverage. So let's break down at least the first couple of picks here from Mel Kiper's mock draft. So he has Anderson being the pick at 2. He has the Titans trading up to number 3 with the Cardinals to take C.J. Stroud. So Stroud, instead of being a Texan, could be a division rival, as well as Will Levis going to the Colts here at number 4 overall. I'd be shocked if Levis is not a Colt by the end of the night. Jalen Carter to the Seahawks. Devin Witherspoon to the Lions. Christian Gonzalez to the Raiders. Tyree Wilson falls all the way to 8 here to the Falcons. Again, a lot of people think Wilson could be the number 2 overall pick tonight to Houston. Paris Johnson Jr., the tackle from Ohio State, picked by the Bears. Bijan Robinson to the Eagles here at number 10 overall. Lucas Van Ness to the Arizona Cardinals. They traded back with the Titans. So who do the Texans take at number 12 overall? They go quarterback. Mel Kiper has the Texans selecting Florida quarterback Anthony Richardson with the number 12 overall selection. I'd be a little bit surprised if Richardson is on the board here, but one quarterback, whether it's Levis, Richardson, or maybe Stroud, bound to fall. Kiper thinks it's going to be AR-15. Here's what he said. I'm going to redo some of this mock draft based on new intel, and it starts with Richardson to Houston. If he makes it to number 12, I think he could be the pick. The Texans could get their edge rusher and their quarterback in the top 12. It's hard not to be happy with that result. Will Anderson at 2, probably the best player in this class, if we're being honest with ourselves, and then you take a quarterback at number 12. Yeah, he's kind of a polarizing prospect, Richardson, but he also has a high ceiling. He has the athleticism. He has the tools to be a good NFL quarterback. Probably a project, might have to sit for a year, but it's hard not to be happy with the Texans taking Anderson at 2, Richardson at 12, if that is what goes down. Grade Kiper's Mock. Type A, B, C, D, or F down in the comments section. I'd be a little bit surprised if Richardson is on the board at 12. I would not be surprised if the Texans traded up to take a quarterback, and Daniel Jeremiah thinks that is possible. He has the Texans selecting C.J. Stroud at 2, trading up for Will Anderson at number 3. So the Texans have the number 2 and number 3 pick. That would be fantastic. Here's what Daniel Jeremiah said in his final mock. There's a lot of information swirling around this pick, but I keep coming back to common sense. Houston needs a quarterback, and Stroud's the best one available at number 2. It's no secret that Arizona wants to trade out of number 3, and it's no secret that Houston is seriously considering an edge rusher with the second pick. Both teams get what they want in this scenario. Houston now has a pillar on each side of the ball. If Nick Caserio pulls this off tonight and gets the number 2 and number 3 picks and takes Will Anderson, who's probably the best player in the class with one of those picks, and C.J. Stroud, who's a top 2 quarterback, future face of the franchise with one of those picks, I mean, Nick Caserio is Kevin Costner in draft day. If he can somehow pull that off, Sonny Weaver Jr. I mean, it would be major draft day movie vibes if the Texans can do that. And I think this needs to be the plan because apparently D'Amico and Nick really want Will Anderson at number 2. Okay, well, that's fine. Then take a quarterback, trade up to get your franchise quarterback, C.J. Stroud, number 3, or somewhere else. But you absolutely have to take a quarterback with one of your first 2 picks here. So Jeremiah's mock has the Texans taking C.J. Stroud, number 2 overall, the Ohio State quarterback, Will Anderson Jr., the Alabama edge rusher at number 3. I think it would be flipped. I think they'd probably take Anderson at 2, trade up to take a Stroud or another quarterback at 3. How happy would you be with this? Scale it 1 to 10 down in the comments section. I'd be at a 12. I'd be absolutely thrilled if Nick Caserio can make that happen. Here's what Aaron Wilson is saying, though, from KPRC. He's got some rumors. With Young unavailable to acquire, because, of course, he's going to Carolina, the Texans may indeed pass on a quarterback with their second overall pick. The Texans have evaluated and have considered Ohio State quarterback C.J. Stroud for months, but he isn't the Texans' first choice at quarterback as he's ranked behind Young on their draft board and other NFL teams seeking a quarterback. Multiple sources anticipate the Texans opting to go with a defensive end instead of Stroud, with those opinions echoed throughout the past month and this week. If the Texans were to draft Stroud, sources emphasize it'd be considered a major surprise at this point and a departure from the direction they've been headed in during the later stages of this draft process. I hope they surprise us. For me, it's C.J. Stroud no matter what. You figure out a way to land C.J. Stroud here tonight. If you want to take Will Anderson at 2, that's fine. I understand he's really freaking good, probably the best defender in this class, maybe the best player in this class in general. But you need a quarterback. You can't run out Davis Mills for another year. That's just not something that can happen. So I hope they figure out a way to trade up for Stroud or another quarterback, or maybe someone falls to them at 12, but they have got to take a quarterback with one of their 2 picks tonight. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/TexansTV. We're going to have you covered with nonstop Texans draft coverage throughout this weekend.